dive into the world of The Power of Now, a transformative guide by Eckhart Tolle. This influential work pivots around the potent idea of living fully in the present moment. Tolle, once a man grappling with depression, turned his life around with this simple yet profound realization. His words have since touched and changed millions of lives around the globe. Now it's time to break down this wisdom piece by piece. Let's delve deeper into the wisdom this book holds, chapter by chapter. Chapter 1, You Are Not Your Mind, challenges our conventional understanding of self. Tolle drives home the revolutionary idea that we are not simply the thoughts that swirl in our minds. He urges us to distinguish ourselves from the incessant chatter of our mental dialogues. By doing so, we can step back and observe our thoughts, rather than being dominated by them. This powerful shift in perspective liberates us from mental constraints. In essence, you are not your mind, you are the awareness behind it. Chapter 2, Consciousness, the Way Out of Pain, presents a solution to emotional pain. In this chapter, Tolle posits that our power lies in the present, not in the past or future. By focusing on the now, we can detach ourselves from pain and suffering. We can recognize that pain is not a part of us, but merely a transient experience. This conscious detachment allows us to observe our pain without identifying with it. Therefore, consciousness and living in the present can be our escape from pain. Chapter 3, Moving Deeply into the Now, offers practical ways to live in the present. Tolle encourages us to revel in the power of now. His strategies include conscious breathing, surrendering to the present moment, and observing our thoughts without judgment. By doing so, we can avoid the trap of dwelling on past regrets or fretting over future anxieties. This mindful immersion in the present moment is our path to inner peace. Remember, the past is history, the future is a mystery, but the present is a gift. Chapter 4, Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now, exposes the mind's tricks. Often our minds lead us astray, pulling us into the past with nostalgia or the future with anxiety. This prevents us from truly experiencing the present moment, the only reality there is. By being aware of these distractions, we can gently bring our focus back to the now. Remember, the mind is like a servant. It's there to help, not to control. Hence, the mind is a tool. Don't let it become your master. Chapter 5, The State of Presence, outlines the benefits of being in the now. Imagine a sense of peace that surpasses all understanding. Picture a wellspring of creativity that bubbles up naturally when you're fully engaged in this moment. Envision a joy that doesn't depend on circumstances, but is rather an intrinsic part of your being. These are not mere fantasies, but the potential realities of living in the present moment. The state of presence is not just a concept, it's a way of life. Let's summarize the key takeaways from The Power of Now. Our exploration began with the understanding that you are not your mind. We learned that the mind is merely a tool, and we are the conscious entities who wield it. Our identities are not defined by our thoughts or emotions, but by our conscious presence. In The Way Out of Pain, we delved into the concept of pain as a manifestation of our resistance to the present moment. We discovered that by accepting the present as it is, we can free ourselves from the shackles of suffering and step onto the path of peace. Moving deeply into the now was our next stop. This chapter emphasized the transformative power of the present moment. By fully immersing ourselves in the now, we can reach a state of heightened awareness and experience life in its purest form. In Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now, we explored the tricks our minds play to keep us entangled in the past or anxious about the future. We learned to recognize these strategies and how to gently bring our focus back to the present. The state of presence served as a guide on how to cultivate and maintain this profound state of being. We learned that presence is more than just a state of mind, it's a way of life that brings about peace, joy, and a deep sense of fulfillment. In essence, The Power of Now teaches us that the present moment is not just a point in time, but a gateway to a life of serenity and enlightenment. It urges us to break free from the confines of our minds and to experience life as it unfolds moment by moment. In the words of Tolle, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. So let's strive to live in the now, and in doing so, find the true essence of our being.